Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Frozen Fortunes. Nothing else to say, Jonas Svenningsson is still at the club for now. So the first thing you're probably wondering is, why are we on the 8th of August? The Champions League group stages don't start until sort of early September kind of time, and our league would have started well before that. Well, it's because I forgot about one little thing, the UEFA Super Cup, which will be playing against Manchester United today. So I figured that'd be a kind of a fun one. We're not going to get to play in many Super Cups, and I didn't really want to do it off screen. Also, Jose Mourinho is still manager of Manchester United after 12 years at the club, maybe even more than that actually, maybe 13 seasons at the club. That is mental, and I apologize. They seem to have won stuff in the meantime, to be fair. Yeah, Jonas Svenningsson is still at the club at the moment. He has signed a new contract. I offered him one the moment I got a chance, really. He's on big money for us, only £21,000 a week. It takes him onto a 5-year deal, and we haven't had a single offer for him all summer. I think the fact is, once you've given a player a new contract, clubs don't seem to bid for them at all. We've not had a single bid for Svenny in this entire period, so the board haven't had a chance to sell him. So there's that in our back pocket, potentially, at some point. He actually celebrated getting that contract by going and scoring at the Euros in a 2-1 win over Serbia for Denmark, and I think he actually got another one at the Euros. I think he scored twice for Denmark at the Euros in 2 appearances. He then picked up a knock, unfortunately, which saw him miss the rest of the tournament. But hey, this guy has clearly got talent, and he's still only 20 years old. So we have, as you can see looking at his stats down here already, played 4 league games as well. We'll talk about that, but first I just want to show you the new signings and stuff, because there's been a lot of stuff in, a couple of outs, I think, just to get some money and stuff. But as you can see in the league already, 4 goals and 4 assists in 3 starts in the league is absolutely astonishing. He and Bravo have hit the ground running, you could say, and we've taken the league by the throat at the moment, and that's good to see. Now, finances-wise, we're actually, we're down to a fair little bit of money because we've spent quite a lot of money and we've got wages and new stuff coming in, basically. But also, it's worth noting that the board actually paid themselves, how much was it? 1.4 million as a bonus to themselves. How about we use that money? Just a thought. We do now have a new stadium sponsor worth £1.5 million per season, which isn't much, I suppose, but, it's worth 9 million quid over 6 years, so I'm not really too bothered. And we started off with a budget of £13 million to spend, and I've pretty much spent almost all of it and had to call in some extra clauses and stuff from other transfer deals to fund some more of our activity. We've not actually broken our transfer record. That still stands at Dragan Simovic from last season, but we've signed a larger quantity of players, you could say. Also worth noting that Cunha has signed a new deal as well, which gets rid of his release clause, which is super important for me because he's become an absolute legend. Well, he was great for us last season, and now that he's not got that £3 million release clause, he really could be worth big money. Not that I want to lose him though. Right, I'm going to do transfers now, so we just jump straight into the transfers, talk about league stuff after that and other happenings, because there's been some happenings. So the first player that joined us is Steve Thompson, who we got on a free transfer from Nottingham Forest, I think, or he might be from Leicester City. I think he was on loan at Forest, actually. Yeah, he was on loan at Forest from Leicester City. This isn't one I actually signed up during this period. I'd already got this deal agreed quite a long time ago, just to bring us in a bit of extra depth to the squad, basically. On a free transfer, I couldn't really argue with it. We can always sell him on at some point. He's not a fantastic player, but still a potential star signing for us, so I guess he's not that bad. It's just nice to have another English lad in the team, to be honest. Next up is this lad. This is Marian Pasinda, who is a Slovakian sort of central, well, he's a central midfielder. He can play across quite a lot of the areas of the pitch, but he, again, has come in on a free transfer. His contract was up with Trencin, and I thought, you know what? Look at this guy. He's got 58 appearances and 24 goals for the Slovakian side. And I don't know where he's played through much of that reign, but he looked like a pretty solid player that could definitely do a job as an option for us in quite a few different positions, really. And that's kind of what I wanted him for. A bit versatile. Could potentially play up front in the attacking midfield role or in the middle with his... Well, his passing's pretty solid, and he's fairly professional, so I couldn't really go wrong with that one. Already got 2 caps for Slovakia. Now, I did go after Clayton, the Brazilian guy I showed you from Botafogo, just to try it out. Unfortunately, they wanted £77 million for him, and I don't think that was with... Yeah, I think he's still there, frankly, because I think Arsenal and Spurs are struggling to even put bids in for that. I think we maybe could have haggled them down to 50 million. Point is, that guy is well above anything we could have hoped for, frankly. So we're going to have to try and plough the field a little bit closer to home, I think. And that's exactly what I did by picking up João Miranda from Toulouse. I think he played at Fiorentina at one point, did he not? Nope, never mind. Don't know what I'm talking about. So he's coming. He's going to be our first choice goalkeeper this year. Some people said they had some fears about him being like a big match player, but that seems to have disappeared now. So I'm guessing my coaches were wrong about that. So I'm all right with that, really. He will be our first choice keeper. He's better than anything we've got. He's cost us £6.5 million. He's the biggest outlay that we've had in this summer, but I still think that's a solid deal, frankly. He's on big money as well. But I think it's a massive step up from what we had, and I can't really complain about that. Amo will probably sink back into being our B-team goalkeeper, and Niang I might sell. I'm not really sure on that one yet. Now, I did go after Rui Felix, the guy from Setúbal. And for some reason, even when it ticked over and we were back in the Champions League as a Champions League club, it would not let us trigger the release clause for some reason. I don't know if that means we have to be in the group stages or what, but as a result of that, we couldn't sump up the money they wanted because they wanted like 17 million for the guy. Now, if we'd have been able to trigger the release clause for whatever, I think we would have had to wait. Then we could have maybe snapped him up really cheap. Unfortunately, Newcastle swooped in and picked him up for 13 million pounds in the end. They were willing to sell him to Newcastle for cheaper, I suppose, which is a bit frustrating because I feel like had we got to the group stages bit, we maybe could have picked him up on the cheap because he wouldn't have wanted to go to Newcastle because they wouldn't have been in the group stages. So there's that element of things. A bit frustrating to lose out on a player like that because it was right there, but there you go. Next up is an 18-year-old Romanian midfielder. This is Liviu Stan, which is Stan. It's a very cool name. We'll just call him Stan, though, because I like that. He's a driven central midfielder kind of player, Carriero, roaming playmaker. He's got decent stats in a lot of those areas. Passing isn't fantastic, but he is still only 18. Driven personality. He does argue with officials, so we will try and get that out of him. But he's got a lot of things that I like. Some of these areas aren't too great, but some of these areas are pretty damn good, and he's still only 18 years old at the moment. He's already got some game time for us this year. 2 appearances in the league and a goal, which was a long-range screamer as well, which was pretty damn nice. Signed from Cluj, 2.8 million is a fair amount, I will grant you, but I felt like it was worth it to try and bring someone with this sort of talent into the club. Next up is someone I'm very, very pleased with. This is Zdenek. You might want to tell me how to pronounce that as well. Krejci, I'm going to call it Krejci for now, but that probably is wrong. Do let me know how to say it in the comments. Because this guy is 18 years old and his mental stats are off the bloody charts. He's got everything in the blues at only 18 years old. A lot of good stats in a lot of other areas. 18 passing as well. I was a fan of this guy. His long shots are, he does seem to take a lot of long shots, and that's a slight problem. But this guy's described as a wonder kid as well, and we've picked him up for £2.5 million. I couldn't believe it when we were able to get this guy for 2.5 million. He's already got 4 caps for the Czech Republic at the age of 18, and yeah, I was amazed. He's already worth 2 million with us. We've only paid slightly more than that. He is a fantastic player, really. I really, really like this guy. Already got 22 games under his belt for Slavia Prague as well. I thought for £2.5 million, these are the kind of signings I absolutely love finding. The ones that just really stand out as being a great deal, because I think this guy is excellent. Very ambitious, so we've got to be careful about that. But I still think this guy could do a real job for us. Here's another lad that you might recognise, Mustafa Abdel Sattar. I did go after him. I tried to go after the Tunisian lad, but he wasn't even interested in entering contract negotiations with us. We're in this weird limbo point now, where we have the money to go after some big name signings for us. The problem is the players that we can afford won't talk to us. For example, I tried to go after Carrasco again, who has now joined Monaco for £5 million. I was prepared to offer them 12, but hey, there you go. And again, they still won't talk to us. So we have to kind of, like I said earlier, plough our field a little bit closer to home with some of these signings. So Mustafa Abdel Sattar joins us for £1 million, which is a lot, and he wanted quite a large salary, but I just wanted another bit of backup in that left wing-back slot, and he's been all right so far. He's got an assist to his name so far in the league, so he's not too bad. He's also picked up an injury, so there's that. And we've got 2 injuries. Rogers Jr. was also out injured too. I think he's back for today's game, though. And the final signing in, for now anyway, because we've not got much money left, is Aldo Barbello. He's coming from Verona for £2.5 million. Main reason I was interested in him, he's 6'5", 16 heading, 14 marking, 13 tackling. He's balanced. He's got decent physicals. He's tall. He can jump well. He's got a lot of the things I would like from a centre-back. His passing isn't awful. I'm a big fan of this guy, and I think he could do a job at least as a backup, but just giving us a bit more strength in that area, as we have moved on, I think, Pat Curtin to Braunschweig. So we need a little bit more money and just to strengthen the team in a few areas. I'm also mulling over a bid for Aldo Safi of £2 million from a team, I believe, in Argentina. So we'll look at that. But he is our captain, and he's a good player. So Curtin, as I said, is actually 1.6 million, rising to 1.9 million, but I feel like that's a decent deal, frankly. Miguel Cruz, despite basically never playing a game for us, has left to go to Brighton for, I think, £650,000. And when we signed him for 50k, that's a pretty decent return on a player that's never actually really featured for us. And the final signing out was Nkosi Mlamdowitz. West Brom seemed more interested than I thought they would be, and we were able to get 1.4 million for the guy. And I figured this was just good money to start reinvesting into better players that had better sort of longevity to them, basically. That's what I was kind of looking at with some of these transfers in and out. We're making money on them, and that's the main thing for me. As you can see here as well, Vaslovsky, Shishi's left, Torben Larsen's gone out on loan, as has Todorovic. I expect to see some more go out on loan too. Vasek's gone out on loan, Nisic, Livia, and Ivan Jovanic has gone out on loan to Fiorentina, which is a hell of a loan. I maybe should have kept him if they're interested in. There's obviously something there, but a good season there could do him wonders. So our first game of the year was away at FC Copenhagen, because of course it was going to be. we just weren't that good on the night, really. They scored, we equalised. They scored, we equalised. Svenningsson grabbed himself a pair. Simovic got an injury in this one. We should have won the game still. I feel like we were the better side, but just couldn't seem to get the winner. 2 goals for Svenningsson, 2 assists for Bravo, and a point to start the season off, though. However, then we really did start to tick in our first home game of the season in front of 6,500 people. Our average home attendance in the league is well over 6K at the moment, which is astonishingly good for this season. We're really edging closer to that. But anyway, yeah, a 6-1 win at home against last year's third place team, Aalborg. Bravo grabbed himself 4 goals. Svenningsson grabbed a goal. Safey got a goal. Svenningsson also got 4 assists. I think he assisted on every single goal Mariano Bravo got. What a start to the season they've had. I think Svenningsson's got 4 goals, 4 assists, and I think Bravo actually has 4 goals, 4 assists as well, which is astonishing. In our next match, we actually had to come from behind against Sunnius. Christian Kane put them in front, an almost immediate equaliser from substitute Matthias Olsson before Jonas Svenningsson's penalty put us in front, and then Rayan El-Hazazi got his first goal for the club. We've got a loan bid from Greuterfurt on the table for him, but I'm tempted to keep him at the club this year. He's proven that he can score goals. He's got a bit more height to him, and I actually think he could do a job for us potentially as a backup this season and get a decent amount of time in the league team. So I actually might keep him at the club, frankly. And then at home in front of 6,100 people, in our 2 home games this season, we've scored 11 goals and conceded once. 2 goals for Yakim, 2 goals for Mehdi Kuja, a brilliant goal for Liviu Stan, and also Kuja missed a penalty that could potentially have made this one 6-0. This is 2 results at home against sides that were in the championship group last year. 6-1 against the 3rd place team and 5-0 against the 5th place team. This year, we really do look to have something. Of course, it's because we're playing the league team, but we're going to be playing the league team for at least the rest of the month. We could have ourselves a real chance here. Just great stuff all round from these guys. And all of that leaves the league looking like this. We are amazingly in 2nd spot because Brøndby have won 4 out of 4 and Ibsen has scored 6 goals in that period, which is pretty damn good for him, really. FC Copenhagen have had a slow start again, 5 points from 4 games for them. Aalborg only 1 point from their first 4 games, and Nordjylland are dead last with 0 points. New Boys Vela have started pretty damn strongly, as have Kurgia, who are back in the top flight, which means we say goodbye to Horsens and Silkeborg, who did go down. Svenningsson with his 4 assists is in there too. Bravo and he are flying. Bravo's got 4 goals, 2 man of the match awards, just loads of good stuff for us. We'll win the league at a canter, but I really do want to try and break some records for us this year. We've scored 16 times in our first 4 games. If we can continue that, there's a real chance of it. But what we're actually here for is the Super Cup against Mourinho's Manchester United. We've got, oh, hello, apparently there's some Danish Cup games to do as well. We've got a really, well, we've won against one English side. It was Liverpool in the Europa League final. We've not got the best record against them. We've never played Man United before. They're obviously the massive favourites for this as the Champions League winners. They beat Chelsea in the final, in case you're wondering. Of course, 2 English sides battling it out. We're basically going to have to beat English sides in order to try and win that competition. But also, it was pointed out to me in the comments that because we won the Europa League and because we're now the 7th best league in Europe, which I need to check because I haven't actually had a news article about that, then we were going to be a pot 1 team anyway as the league winners because we're in one of the top 7 nations and we won the Europa League, which means that, yeah, we're going to be a first seeded team this season. So we've got a real chance of getting out of our group. I'm really looking forward to that. Anyway, team selection. So we're going to go first string, of course, and then sort of see who's available. Svenningsson is not fully fit yet, so he will not be playing in today's game, which means there's a chance for Mehdi Kuja. Who else but Mehdi Kuja? Akinola will play in there, I think, although, yeah, we've got a lot of options now. It's really nice. Jankowski and Surgaard in the middle. Is Surgaard fully fit yet? His match fitness isn't amazing, but we will probably start these 2. They're our best 2 players in these positions, really. Although I noticed that, Surgaard isn't the best player there, but he is also the most suited for the role, and I'm kind of about that, really, at the moment. Satar can't play. Rogers Jr.'s only just come back from an issue, so we'll bring in Marinus. Cunha at right back, of course. Santos, Simovic, and Angel. Although Nuno Santos is definitely not fit either, so that will probably be a start for Barbello, who is right-footed, I believe, too. Yeah, so that's kind of useful. Yeah, that'll probably do. So, there we go. Bravo, Kuja, Akinola, Surgaard, Jankowski, Cunha, Marinus, Simovic, Barbello, the new boy, Miranda in goal. A lot of the new boys aren't actually first-team quality, but they're right there as well, giving us a much better backup squad, which is really nice. It allows us to rotate and maintain the strength a bit more. Right, on the bench, Amoa, Saifi, Krejci, Yakim, Olsen, Stan, and El-Hazazi. We've really got to find it. What are we... Right, guys, give me a nickname for Rayan El-Hazazi, because that is not a name I'm going to be saying over and over again. So, pick your best nickname based on that. Right, so Man United playing the sort of standard sort of system. Moreira is the guy we want to mark up. Pogba's there too as well, so there's that. Travaglini, Dokic, Pereira. Is that a real player? No. Barroso, Jamal. Most of these guys... Oh, they've got Salah in goal. Okay, so we know what to do. Mark up Moreira. I don't think we're going to get anything from this game, but it doesn't matter because it's the UEFA Super Cup. It's basically a friendly, but it's a good chance to see some of these players, perhaps. Okay, so we're going to mark up Moreira. Octavio, what a lovely name that is. I also like they've got Zito in the back, which is a pretty cool name. Yeah, we'll just mark these guys up. Right, so question of the day, and today's question is this: who is going to be the manager on your first FM19 save? Now, I think that obviously I will still probably do a vote for it, but I think that the likelihood of it being Jonas Svenningsson is ridiculously high. I feel like at the time the guy's just becoming a club legend. He's still only 20 years old, and yeah, I feel like he's going to likely be that. I think that the save is probably going to be rebuilding Stockport, because they are the team that's fallen the most ever, basically, from where they were to where they are. And I think that would be the ultimate rebuilding save. And we get to start lower than we ever had before. We get to start in, I think, Conference North, which is 2 divisions lower than League 2. So that'll be a hell of a lengthy save. But I feel like rebuilding Stockport with Svenningsson as the manager could be quite a fun adventure for the first save of FM19. That'd be the first proper one. Yeah, hasn't been the best start from us, really. Lads are still getting to know each other a little bit. Oh, here we go. Akinola can bring it away. I think having someone like Barbello in there is definitely going to do a job for us. Having someone who's better in the air than anyone else on the team. Kind of like what I did with Al-Wadi, but he's got a lot of other stats that are better than Al-Wadi. Dokic. Pogba! Oh, what a... Oh, come on. Goalkeeper on the 4. Alessandro Travaglini with the goal. That's a shame. I think the goalkeeper made an absolutely world-class save there off of Paul Pogba's initial shot. I think. Let's see. It comes back to him. I think it's either hits the post or the goalkeeper saves it. Oh, I don't know. I think the keeper might have got a touch to that onto the crossbar, but it doesn't matter. It's 1-0 to Manchester United. Well, we really are offering nothing at the moment, but we are at least stopping them from doing much. Their goal was a bit fortunate, really. The fact that it came back to Pogba in the way that... Travaglini in the way that it did. Jankowski. Can he get fouled? Barbello! Oh, so good. Oh my goodness, a rare opportunity there for B67. Didn't even count as a shot in the end because we didn't really get one. Now we'll end up conceding at the other end, won't we? Pereira, ball across, Travaglini. Good save from Miranda. Yeah, we're going to have to shake things up in the second half. I might even throw someone into midfield and just try and go for it a bit more. Pereira! Oh, goodness me. The little chances, that tiny little bit that makes them world-class players is what we're just missing at the moment. Those marginal situations like this where it just ricochets around, so goes through a crowd of bodies and into the back of the net. 2-0 on half-time. That makes it so much more difficult in the second half now. Right, we're going to try and G them up a little bit in the second half. I'm going to move over to the frozen hug of death because why the hell not? Simovic will probably stay on because I don't think anyone... Actually, Krejci could play there, couldn't he? No. Well... Actually, you know what? He might be better in that role. Is there a better role he could play there? Deep line playmaker, roaming playmaker, regista perhaps? Let's give him a go as a regista. See what happens. Anyone else performing particularly badly? To be honest, most of the team. Akinola and whoever's playing in the central midfield, the attacking midfield spot, has not played well this season at all. Cunha's having a poor day as well. I might get Olsen on for the second half and try this out. I'm not sure how this is going to happen, but I want to give some players a chance out in this particular competition. So on will come Krejci to play a bit deeper. Travaglini, ball in. Another body in the midfield might just help a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Can't make it any worse. Kuja over the top. Here we go. Kuja's through. Oh, and he's hit the post. Mehdi Kuja with a rare opportunity for us today. We've still not had a shot on target, though. Our best performers in the team have been our 2 central midfielders, Jankowski and Sorgord. Everyone else has just been a bit lacking. I might even bring on El Hazazi for a little bit of a run out too, just to give him some experience at the highest level of football, to be honest. Yakim's going to get plenty of that. D'Amico. Right, here we go. Breakaway chance. Jankowski looking long. Bravo's got it at his feet. This is going to be so difficult for us to fashion a chance from here. Olsen into the channel for Kuja. Can we find a cross? Ball in. Bravo! There we go. Manchester United 2, B67 1. Mariano Bravo continues to defy what I think about him. He's been a hell of a servant for this club, and every time I think about selling him, he just expands his performance even more. Lovely work from Mehdi Kuja again, proving that once again he can do it at the very biggest levels. Terrible defending from United, and our first shot on target leads to a goal. Second half has definitely been better from us, that's for sure. Maybe there's a rare comeback on the cards here. I think it's unlikely. We'll probably lose like 4-1 in this one in the end. Man United will just slowly but surely grind us down. But Olsen over... Oh, no, they're not going to get that. Here we go. From a corner, perhaps. Surgod on the edge. What's he thinking? I thought he was going to go for the shot. Finds Olsen. Oh my goodness, lovely bit of intricate play inside the box there. And Matthias Olsen get a chance to get his second goal of the season. Travaglini, again, he'll go back post for Dokic, you got to feel. Ball in. And Dokic is there. We are marking this guy up, I think, but it's not really working for us so far. Moreira, Travaglini. Moreira, we're getting there. We're at least getting out to the ball. Travaglini again, good block this time. Akinola's going to be in trouble here. I want to make one more sub, and I'm not sure what really. I tell you what, I honestly think that Aldo Saifi would be a good choice right about now. A Saifi pair of hands, so to speak. I get him on for Angel, because Saifi just seems to do things when he's in the team. Marinus is knackering himself out at the moment too. They're being a bit more patient with the build-up, and that worries me. Travaglini, okay, that's fine. Oh, Marinus is about to be sent off. Ah, dear. Well, I mean, what's he going to be suspended for? Will that count as a Champions League suspension? I hope not. Now we're in trouble, though, because we made all our subs, and... now we don't have a wing-back. Who's the best for that role? Yeah, Marinus. Figured. Okay. Well, we'll move Cressy over there, since he seems to be able to do a bit of everything, and we'll give him a try, playing as a wing-back for the rest of this match. I'm not really sure what to suggest at this point. We're just sort of... Oh, Pereira's through! Great save from Miranda. He probably should have come out and got that. Close the gap down a little bit, but he does make the save in the end, which is the main thing, I suppose. Good tackle again. Might just throw it onto attacking for the final 10 minutes of this match. See if we can't grab a late equaliser or something. If we do concede the third goal, then we do. But losing 2-1 and 3-1 in the UEFA Super Cup final are basically irrelevant. If we could get ourselves the draw and try and play for something later on, who knows? Actually, I'm just going to let this play out. Imagine if something actually happened here. Olsen, edge of the box for Sorgård. Kuja? Oh, round the post again. Chance, sort of. Just going to go route one and overload and take more risks for the final sort of couple of minutes of this game. For the final bits of the game. Just see if we can't pull something ridiculous out the bag here. Totally undeserved it would be if we did get anything. Krejci, look long. There we go. Mehdi Kuja. We need someone making that run. Bravo is the only man that really can make that run. Ball in. That's poor. Terrible. Yeah, that looks like it is going to do it. We're going to lose the Super Cup final 2-1. In some ways, I'm actually quite pleased, just because we kept the score down in a game where we were not even close to being involved in the game, but we've still managed to keep the scoreline down, and that pleases me a lot, because it means that it gives me the hope that we could do this in away games in the Champions League, potentially, and then bring teams back home again. You know, a 2-1 defeat at Manchester United in the Champions League, if it was a two-legged tie, would be a fantastic result, really. It would give us the away goal and only a one-goal deficit to take back home. So these are the kind of results that give me a bit of hope that we can mug our way to some good results this season. Yeah, they've won the trophy. Big whoop. So in the next video, it will be our 2 Champions League ties. We don't know who they're against yet, and I don't know when the draw is yet either. So that's going to be interesting what group we get. I think it might be a quite favourable draw for us, frankly. If we are going to be a pot 1 team, we could get ourselves a relatively winnable group, to be honest. The second pot team is the one to really be worried about. We could get... I'm looking forward to this, to be honest. So that's going to be the next episode. We've got games off camera, and then we'll come back for our Champions League game in there as well. So yeah, Champions League games there. So we've got 4 games off camera, 8 league games before we even get to the Champions League. We could be miles clear if we keep playing well. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this episode, even though we lost the Super Cup final and the signings we made, obviously I'll be trying to keep an eye out for any more and try to hold on to players for the rest of the window too, because by the time we come back, we will be in at the end of... If Svenningsson is still here for these first Champions League games, then we can breathe a sigh of relief. That's all I'll say. Anyway, if you have enjoyed it, drop a like. It really helps the channel out, of course. And if you're new to the channel, hit the big old red subscribe button. That'd be dope as well. And I'll join you guys in the next episode for some Champions League goodies. Hopefully we get ourselves a good group. It's going to be fun. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.